Let me put... this whole thing. We should be coming through. I know. Sorry, we're on a different... I'm having to do it this way because of the situation with the having all of us on. So hopefully everyone can be heard and seen is what I'm mostly concerned about. So let me see if I can just... Don't know whether... if you guys can hear and see us. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix this a little bit while... Okay.
That vibe is weird.
Yeah, I think if you guys in the chat let us know that you can hear us, okay?
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, we're all here.
Oh, okay, yeah, can see.
Can you see? Can you hear?
Can you hear him?
Can you hear me? Oh, thanks.
Okay, yes, looks as though everyone can see us and hear us. So thank you everyone so much for coming to the first ever LCon. And if everybody just wants to say their name, say when they first started watching the L Word, say the name of their platform, social media, whatever it is, and tell us who your favorite character is. And if we start, Brittany, Jules, Slicey, Taylor, Chris, that way.
Right. I'm Brittany. I'm with All Things TiBet. I started watching the L Word in 2018. I found it on Netflix for the first time. And then I watched it, and then I kind of got re-engaged when Gen Q came out because I wanted to rewatch it and then watch the reboot. My favorite character is Tina, but my favorite couple is obviously TiBet. I don't think we would run a podcast with TiBet if that wasn't my favorite couple.
Cool.
I think I answered all your questions, Ash.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. Jules?
Mm-hmm. Hello, everyone. I'm Jules. I'm the creator of Bette Tina House of Stir Fry. I started watching the show when it aired the first season. I saw the first season, saw how it ended, and then I was kind of turned off a little bit, just because my favorite couple is Bette and Tina. And I would say, I do love Bette. I do love a Bette, but I love them both also. So to see what happened, I kind of was very hurt. And instead of just kind of, dwelling in the hatred, I was like, okay, well, I guess we'll see what happens. And I forgot to watch it, and I never watched it again until 2018 when I saw it again on the Showtime Marathon. And I was like, oh, the show's still on? Oh, what season is this? And then I saw that this couple was still kind of there that I liked. So then I watched it, that marathon, and then I did a whole rewatch of it in 2018, 2019. So I am way into it now, I would say. And my favorite are Bette Tina.
Okay, cool. Slicey, one of the original.
Slicey from the L Word Online. And Oz and I both started watching from the very first episode in 2003. We actually found the show because we were already fans of Kate Menig. And so we watched it straight through that whole time. I have not watched it since, so I've probably forgotten more about the original L Word than I ever knew in the first place. And Shane was my favorite character from the original, and Finley is my favorite from the Gen Q cast.
Cool.
Oh, if we're saying favorite from Gen Q, it's Gigi for me.
Thanks, Slicey. Taylor?
Oh, that's me. Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm Brittany's co-host on All Things TiBet. I am the baby fan in this chat, I think. I only started watching it in 2020 during the pandemic. My friend talked me into it. And, obviously got really invested really fast. And my favorite character is Tina, obviously. Anybody who has listened to the podcast, I'm sure, knows that. And Gen Q, does Angie count as a Gen Q character? Because
Sure.
So she's my favorite, definitely.
Cool. Thanks, Taylor. Chris?
Hi, I'm Chris. I run the Elwood Online with Slicey. We've been watching since the beginning. As she said, we were fans of Kate from Young Americans, which was a very short-lived show that hardly anyone's seen. Yes, but and I don't know, my favorite character would have been Shane for sure, but like Shane and Carmen, because in the new one, I think I like Finley as well. She's just funny. She's like a golden retriever.
Yeah. She was. I gravitated.
I think she's my spirit animal. She's as cool as I wish I could be.
My name's Ash. This is my channel, and I've watched the L Word since pretty much day one too, and my favorite characters Bette and definitely Gigi and the new one too. So welcome everyone, and thank you so much to everyone in the chat too for coming along. And if anyone has any questions or topics they want to see us discuss, I guess we can start off with season 2 and what everybody's looking forward to, what they wish that they're gonna see more, and if anybody has any predictions. So who wants to start?
Can I just make a general comment? I'm just laughing because I'm thinking in my head how the L Word Online started when some of the current new fans were like newborns, maybe not even born yet.
Yes.
I love everything about that. Like, I think of 2003 as like the era of dial-up. So I just thank you for your dedication to the cause, because I can only imagine the headaches that you must have gone through trying to get content out there.
We honestly, when we started, the only lesbian website was After Ellen, which was good back then. It wasn't the nightmare it turned into. And so Oz would do all this research and find out all the information about the L Word, and then would give it to After Ellen to publish. And then we were like, why don't we just start our own website? So that's how we happened.
That's how it happened.
I'm not a baby, but I definitely went to your website because it was pretty much the only
Me
one
too.
out there for information, and I found so much like interviews and like the convention. Like someone was at the convention and reporting back to you guys, and that's like great information. Like all the interviews that you had and photos, and it's amazing. It's still there, thank God. The archive, you have an archive. I still look at it. Still it's excellent.
Yeah, and I can't believe how much we did without Facebook and Instagram and everything, without internet, pretty much. I remember like countless hours just researching and looking up things like local, lighting companies in Vancouver, like who's working on the L Word, and like then finding that person and like contacting them and being like, hi, do you have any information, blah, 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 whatever, all this kind of stuff. That was all via email back then. Yeah, good times.
You could slide into someone's DMs and be like I did once, and say, did Bette and Tina have matching watches in season 1, or am I crazy here?
Which is a real thing that Brittany did with Cynthia Summers.
Yeah, it is. It's a true story. But it wasn't that easy. You guys had to really do your research.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know
how. Going to Vancouver and following people around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we accidentally, almost accidentally, we may have potentially stalked Darren Daniels, but not on purpose. It was total accident.
Tell them the story about saving Rachel Shelley.
Oh god, that was at the first ever L Word convention convention in Los Angeles. They decided to finally have one in the US. All the other conventions previously had been in the UK, where apparently they would get like upwards of like 2,000 people going. It was massive. And then they had one in LA, and how many was there, Slicey? Like 70? Like complete bomb. Like no one came. Which was good for us because we got to chat with them and hang out with them. But like, yeah, it was during that weekend of the Elcon in LA that Aha had their first gig. I would say gig because they didn't actually have a drummer. So they had an iPod plugged in as a drummer.
Yeah, I saw them play like that too.
Yeah, and while we were at that gig, we were like in the audience, we're all like, waiting for them to say. I think do you remember, Slicey, if they had like started singing or if we were still waiting when people started noticing in the crowd, like people were like, oh my God, like Mia Kirshner's standing next to me. Oh my God, like Kate Manning is right there. Oh my God, legend. And all of a sudden it was just like this massive horde of people like, ah! And then, people were trying to like make their way out, but like unsuspiciously, but now they can't, like, because now they've been noticed. So I was in the corner where like Rachel Shelley was trying to get out. She was like, oh dear, oh God, oh dear. And like there was no security, so like I had to be like trying to like, I maybe was a little bit security for her, so she was like, oh, I was like, I was like, come out this way.
You just passed out.
I was letting me get out my shoulder. So that was fun. But they almost got mobbed. And I remember hearing on the way out Kate saying to Alicia, someone grabbed my ass. It was a little bit mayhem. Yeah.
I hope they start doing that stuff again. Like I remember when I lived in Tampa in Florida, we used to have like L Word things, and like Alicia came once, and the girl who played Adele came, and like certain things like that. But I used to work with like people that the same convention company, they used to do like Buffy ones, and I used to work with people for that. And I know a few people have talked about it, and obviously with the world the way it is, it probably won't happen for a while, but it would be cool to do something like that again now, because I feel like it would be, you'd get more people, especially like even around the globe, because it's easier to market it now with social media and stuff instead of just people happening upon
like
it.
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
Slicey went to a bunch of those, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I went to a lot. I mean, I remember going to one before the L Word aired. They like previewed the pilot episode in New Mexico at some random movie theater.
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque. So I flew out there, and it was like, zero mob whatsoever, because no one had seen any of it, and no one knew who any of the actresses were. But I was already like, we were so far down the rabbit hole, like young Americans fans of Kate Menig, and Kate was there in person to like introduce the pilot. So she can just walk around like, no one knows who she is whatsoever, except for me in this entire movie theater.
You're like trying to ventilate.
Yeah, so I'm like panicking, like, oh my God, it's Kate Menig. So I got to just, talk to her and hang out with her one-on-one before the explosion of everyone knowing her from the L Word. So that was a lot of fun. But it's such a random place. Why? I don't know why Albuquerque, New Mexico, they're like, we're going to screen the L Word.
They had a lot of random locations where they were screening stuff. I wonder if they were just trying to be inclusive. Like, oh, hey, we don't forget about Albuquerque.
I'm like, is there a large lesbian population in Albuquerque that I'm unaware of? Like, should I have been hanging out there all this time? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm holding Alicia to her suggestion of Elcon. She mentioned that on the podcast, and I'm like, oh, yes. Yep. And or should they do like a bunch of cities like that, big tour? I would love to go to a couple of them, but just to see who's going to show up. You never know. That's an official one. So I'm hoping she does, or we can do that one day after this whole pandemic thing.
Yeah. Especially like I feel like a lot of the Gen Q cast maybe would be like pretty like of that, because they're very active on social media, and like this is especially people like Gigi and Dani and Sophie, like this is their big break, and like they're on a big show now. So I feel like they're really kind as well to like a lot of the fans, where I'm not big about like like adding people and stuff, but if I ever like mention like one of them, like Jamie Clayton and Safida, like a lot of the time they like a lot of fan stuff, and so it is really nice to see them kind of give back in that way, that they are recognizing when people are loving the show. And I love like all the pictures that Gigi and Dani like take on set, where they seem to be like pushing out the most content by far compared to the rest of the guys. But yeah, it's just really nice to see them kind of excited about the show, instead of just like I feel like a lot of other shows, it is like work, whereas with the L Word, like with Leisha and Kate being such good friends too, like it's really nice to see.
Yeah. What do we think? Do we think they're going to get together in season 2?
Gigi and Dani, that's what I'm all about. Yes. This is my new hill to die on.
There are photos of them, like a lot. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what it says about me that we have not met Tina in 15 minutes, and you said that. I mean,
Bette Tina?
And then I was like, oh wait, they're not even. I'm an idiot.
We'll take the floor now.
Do I think Bette and Tina are going to get together in season 2? No, I think Tina and Carrie are going to break up in episode 10, and they're going to leave us hanging until season 3. That's my
prediction.
Yeah.
Prediction.
And I think that I think the reason why they're going to break up is because Carrie is not going to be able to stand the relationship that Tina and Bette still have.
Oh yeah.
There's no way in hell that Jennifer or Laurel are going to let either of them have some sort of affair or something like that. It's got to be clean. Like, I remember when Jennifer was talking about that at L5, when she said, why couldn't Bette just have broken up with Jodie and then gone with Tina? Like, there's just no way she'd stand for it.
Did she learn nothing?
Yeah.
No, and they have too much power now, like being executive producers and stuff. There's no way. So yeah, I am really excited to see Rosie on the show though, and especially like her with everyone, but I think that there'll be some really good scenes with her and Jennifer too, because that interview that she did where she's talking about how she's going to come and be very intimidated by like the whole LA lifestyle and Bette and Tina's friends and stuff like that. Like I think it's going to be super interesting, because if they went down that boring route of, oh, Tina's just with someone who's exactly like Bette, like it would have been cliche. So I'm glad they've done that like a bit differently.
Yeah, people are talking a lot too about like this thing about, let's just say, Carrie having some demons. And I see a lot of people kind of ragging on it, and I'm like, do you not want her to be a real human person with like flaws? And like, to me, if Carrie was either perfect or just a heinous bitch the entire time, both of those would make it feel really like, I'm going to say when, because I genuinely believe it's going to happen. When Bette and Tina get back together, it wouldn't feel earned.
Right. And that's a huge thing, having it earned. Jennifer keeps on saying that in these old interviews. They have to earn it. They have to earn it. And maybe they didn't earn it all the way by season 6. Who knows? There was still some cracks in the original series in their relationship. But I can totally see them going back and like reliving season 1 bad behavior. Who knows, and they just have to get there. We get to go on that journey again.
Again.
more Carrie backstory in 3 episodes than Tina in 7 seasons. I've had to stand.
Accurate. And I hate it.
Yeah.
It's the God's honest truth.
Yeah. Molly and I were talking about this earlier, and I was like, I know they won't, but maybe they'll include Tina backstory too. I know they're not going to.
Oh my gosh, you're really, really hoping there.
Yeah, that's a big, big ask.
That's not a realistic like prediction. That is like I know it's not gonna happen, but I really wish it would.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
that's the whole story of the L word forever. Things we wish happened but
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
well, the other thing that I was going to bring up too was the fact that obviously Rachel Shelley, like, obviously we haven't got like a press announcement from them saying that it's 100%, but I don't know whether anyone else has been paying attention to the IMDb page this week, but one day she's on it, the next day she's not, the next day she's on it. So are they going back and forth deciding whether to tell us or because I mean this is exactly what happened last year with Laurel in the IMDb page, but I'm pretty confident that if it's on there she's coming back, and like I don't know, what does everyone else think?
I'm wondering if they're trying to decide between actually getting her to be there physically or be via webcam or something. And
Yeah.
whether that can, I mean, obviously that would count as a credit still. Maybe they're like, no, yes, no, yes. Either that or it's like a 15-year-old IMDb person going, oh, put this back in. No, don't put it in. Or people just put like, no, don't put it in.
It's too early. It's too early.
Do we
We're not
know?
supposed to put that there.
Do we know if they're ignoring the pandemic for the sake of the
I
storyline?
think they
Yeah.
are,
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, they are.
Yeah, good, exactly.
It's too depressing watching shows that fit that into their storyline right now.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
just feel like it wouldn't work for the L word. Like some shows can make it work, but like I can't picture it with them at all.
I think the exact quote from Marja, I think Brittany originally told me this, was nobody wants to see Bette Porter in a mask, which so true. So
Fair.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Someone asked.
Oh, guys, this is a good question from the chat. What about this new artist
Yeah.
person in Bette? I think Tina will be much more jealous there than Bette will be with Carrie. Thoughts?
Mm-hmm. Doesn't always have to be about sex. It may just actually be about the art. That's all.
Have you met Bette Porter?
I know. They say she has to track her down for something, and I feel like it could be actually for the art, and maybe it's like something that has to learn as far as maybe it's I'm trying to be positive here. Maybe it's like a Kit-like character, maybe someone that teaches her something. I miss Kit absolutely, and that doesn't have that anymore. So I hope it's someone that she can learn from. Maybe I don't want it to be just another. Here's like someone other than Tina that she's sleeping with this season. I don't see that again. I really don't.
That's probably what it will be.
That's fine. I don't know what you guys are feeling on that. You think it's another,
I don't know if
catch of the season? Or
I don't know if it will be, but I would love to see jealous Tina. That would be great. That would
she
be
doesn't have to know that.
it's something I'd want to see. So jealous Tina and jealous Bette in one season, I think that the angst would be
that could be good.
unmatchable.
There are a lot of new characters coming this season. Like I feel like every couple of weeks there's just like more people announced. So it's gonna be crazy. Like because the cast is already really big, and then Jamie Clayton and Safida Moafi are both Gigi and Tess. I think are going to be in pretty much every episode. So. That's a big main cast, like with all the Gen Q ones, and then obviously we like if Helena comes back, and we know Tina's back for some episodes too. So I wonder how they're gonna like divide up like all the because they only have 10 episodes too. Like, that's not too many.
Well, do we think that Dana's is now the new planet?
Yeah.
It wasn't in season 1, but I
No,
don't know
but like,
if they're
yeah,
gonna...
like, this would be like a gathering point where we see like a lot of group
Well,
interactions.
when Jamie Clayton was on the Pants podcast, she said that there's something going on at, she said the workplace, and she was saying that she had to be in like some formal attire, and there's something going on with Dana's, like who knows what it is, and then they did have those videos from set where they were doing like the karaoke and things, so I don't know whether they're just gonna have it as more like the workplace and show like Shane and Tess and stuff there, or they're all gonna meet there. Because even in season 1, it was like when Alice, Gigi, and Nat were meeting, they were meeting in like that restaurant, you know, like there wasn't a lot of meeting at the Dana's apart from for Bette's mayoral party thing at the end.
Well, now we also know they've rebuilt Dana's, so they're on set now, then going to, what was it, Semi-Tropic?
Yeah. So they must be using it more if they've built a set too.
Yeah.
Looks like there's karaoke now, so that could be.
And Tegan and Sarah. Woohoo!
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, it
Are we missing anyone's questions? Sorry.
I know.
I haven't seen any.
Whose
Did we miss any
wedding?
questions? Let us know.
There were some back in the beginning. I might have missed.
Whose wedding do you think it will be? Is one of the questions.
I mean, are you really gonna make me say the words?
Because there was, it's definitely someone. Someone is. You know, we know that Micah is in the wedding, so it's probably someone they know.
Was he on that?
His those pictures that I had on when I did the live stream with them. His stand-in, you can see the stand-in like standing at the altar, and then I went on the stand-in's Instagram, and there was pictures of him in the suit with the flowers in the background. So
I remember.
Are Dani and Sophie actually even married?
It's Micah's wedding. Maybe his relationship really progresses in the next season.
I think he was like a best man.
Wasn't Finley's sister getting married? Like maybe.
Oh yeah.
His sister's wedding. And
I might be in that.
But yeah, but what? Yeah.
Was he was standing up in the wedding, or he was just?
It looks as though he is like a groomsman. Like he was. There's other people there too. So.
What about if it's Finley getting married?
That would be
Well, I'm just trying to figure out like who would be closest to Micah, like that he would be a groomsman.
Dani, but yeah.
Dani and Gigi.
Yes.
We're getting a new hole.
Yeah.
I mean, Finley's sister is not a bad guess. Because you had asked earlier what story we were most interested in, and for me, it's Finley going home.
Oh yeah.
But that's a little selfish because she's going to Kansas City, and I'm from Kansas City, so. But if she needs maybe she reaches out for a friend because she's with all of her family issues and she needs someone by her side.
You'll be on call.
Hold her up for the wedding and just be in her corner. Maybe she reaches out to Micah for that for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna say you because you're in Kansas City.
No. No, I wish. We kept hoping are they gonna film in Kansas? And they never film here for anything. But yeah, it'd be nice. I watched it the first season. They had viewing parties here, and so I watched it with 50 women or something every week. So the second Finley said Kansas City, everyone in the room exploded. Everyone went crazy. They're very excited, and I think her backstory is interesting too with the religion because we had a lot of people, a lot of fans who were watching, and they would sort of stand up and talk about what the L word meant to them. And there were a lot of people who had, you know, personal histories with religion being, you know, an obstacle to their coming out, or, you know, their relationships with their family and stuff. So, I mean, I think it's a storyline that a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah,
It really touches a lot of lives.
I definitely like really think that it would be so interesting to do like Finley and also like she was an Olympic swimmer, which they just never like really went into, and all these other things. I'm like, these are the things we want to know. And I mean, like, you know, of course, when we're doing this live, I'm like telling everyone in my personal life, and like even one of my best friends from high school, she lives in LA and just has a newborn, and she's like, I'm gonna come tonight. And I'm not religious at all, but I went to a Catholic all girls high school, and it's
Me too.
and okay, well, this
which is Catholic light.
this is gonna prove my point even more, is that we had a shocking amount of lesbians in my class. And like I had my first girlfriend that I used to go in and secretly buy the DVDs in Best Buy of the L Word and be paranoid someone was gonna see us. Like I've, you know, had a difficult time coming out, but once I did, I was like, you know, absolutely 100% sure, and never look back. But I know a lot of my other peers who were more religious, they did have like a really hard time with it, and I'm glad I didn't have that side of it. But it is like one of those things, and I guess I've just been really lucky that like any of my friends who are really religious have always been super accepting and super kind. But I know there are some people that like are estranged from their families and stuff, so it would be great for them to have some representation too.
Well, and you know what I like is that like Finley herself still had, like, she's not like, fuck religion, I hate the church, like I don't believe in anything anymore. Like she still has an aspect of that faith, which I think is interesting and really important, because usually, I mean, very justifiably, when these stories are told, usually the person is like, well, fuck the church, I'm gone now. Can I say fuck on the live stream? Is that okay?
Yeah. YouTube already hates me because I say lesbian all the time. Don't worry, the second that this comes down, they'll put it on limited. I'll go on Twitter and say, stop putting my stream on limited for saying lesbian, and then they quickly go and change it and act like nothing happened. But YouTube, don't get me started.
Yeah, I think that was an interesting and really cool choice that they made.
Yeah,
I'm wondering what I was looking on IMDb the other day, and it did say someone was part of, it said Finley's entourage, and I'm like, what does that mean?
What?
Do we know anything about this?
I didn't see that.
It was like some random, you know, like extra, and it just had, like, they didn't even have a name. It was just like part of Finley's entourage or something, and I was like, Finley has an entourage? And like, why? Well, why could she possibly have an entourage?
Probably a party that she's going to do.
Maybe, yeah. She becomes an influencer and she starts taking an entourage.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of really creative extras on the set, because sometimes when I look through the IMDb, I'm like, what is happening here? There's like really strange like names for characters and stuff. So
Oh, that's like when we found out the threesome guy, when Brittany found out he had an actual name.
Oh, yeah.
Beck Bishop.
Beck.
Beck Bishop.
Yeah.
First and last name. We don't know it. We've never met Tina's parents, but there was a Beck Bishop that was involved in, you know, exactly 3 scenes with Bette Tina.
Oh my
Usually
god.
don't give a first and last name unless they're important and they're coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good question. What do you guys think is going to happen with Angie's storyline?
Sister.
I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah. You want to meet her biological sister.
Yeah. Alan.
What's her name? Kayla?
Kayla Allen Wood, yeah.
Hmm.
I did read, I think it was an interview with Marja Lewis Ryan again that said there is a lot of people now that have kids in this way, and it is a storyline that it's not really done a lot. It's like from the side of people getting pregnant and like going to a sperm donor and all that is in the media, but not really, okay, well, what happens when the kid grows up and then they do have biological half siblings or whatever. So it will be like an interesting thing for especially like more people who are married and have families and things like that. So again, I think they're getting a lot more broader with the representation and not just this like everybody comes out and lives this perfect life like being a rich white woman in LA. So I do really like, not every storyline's going to be for every person, but I do like with what they're doing with Gen Q, and like there's so many different like aspects and different characters that it's I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone that says, oh, I don't identify with anyone on the show. Like, there's definitely something for everyone, and or even to find someone who says, oh, I don't have a crush or have a character on the show that I like, whereas before that was the point that was argued a lot with, well, it's very, very white and very rich and very skinny and very this. So, it is nice to see like difference.
It's funny though, because when Slicey and I back in when it first started, we were like, what is this community? What are we watching? Who are these women? And then we went to LA and we were in a bar in Hollywood and we were like, oh my God, it's true. They're all here. Like, this is true. Like, so it must be it's a very small bubble. And it was like, everyone was like, it's not true. There's no lesbians. Like, they were right there.
It's true. It's really true. Like, it is true.
These are not New York lesbians. These are not the lesbians I'm used to.
Not Chicago.
LA is a whole different animal.
That's not what they look like in Kansas City. The place that I visited, I had the best barbecue ever, like a restaurant and gas station mix thing. Like, it was all one building.
Oh my God, Joe's, yes.
Yes.
I have a question for you all. Is there a medical reason that this Kayla person would have to be involved? Like, what if Angie got hurt somehow? And would she is there something?
Oh, like
there's like a whole police situation going on around that episode too. I'm wondering if
that's a good point.
Angie, maybe. I'm just throwing it out there. This is part of the whole speculation thing. I'm wondering if something happens to Angie where maybe Tina even has to come back from wherever she is. So that's how she comes back in, and and I don't know.
like she needs a new liver or something.
I don't know. Not a full opposite. Like, I don't know.
Like she's been shot or something, maybe.
I don't know.
Something.
Because there was a whole police.
Very violent. I'm not.
Hey, listen, do we know what happened to Tyler Adams? Because, like, that's not totally out of the question.
There is some sort of police FBI thing, and then
detectives.
Well, there was like detectives and things.
yeah.
Something happened to Angie?
They open back up.
Jenny's risen from the grave.
Yeah.
Oh, bitch. Oh, God.
Jenny's back.
Oh, please. It's fine.
I would pay money to see that. Bring back Mia.
Poor Mia.
I do think Eileen said at one point that, like, the thing about Jenny is that even though, like, season 1 of Gen Q said that she was dead, like, she could just walk into town one day and everybody would be like, okay, it's weird, but, like, it's Jenny.
But that's the whole time with Elwood, that they've done that every season since the beginning. They've just ignored giant chunks of information, or suddenly a character has disappeared for no reason. Like all these holes.
You guys said it in your In your podcast the other day, that every season it's like the actresses said every season they feel like they're playing a different character because
Yeah. Because what is continuity?
Yeah, Taylor said it, like, season 1 and season 6 were like in an alternate universe. They just, like, 2, 3, 4, and 5 were somewhat similar, but, like, it's just bizarre.
And not even
Especially
the
now
same
rewatching
alternate
it.
universe, like two
Yes.
different alternate universes.
Yes.
season 6 though, like I'm doing it for my retro reviews for my channel, and yesterday I posted season 6 episode 6, so I've only got the dance and the last one, and I haven't really watched season 6 since it aired because it's season 6, and it like honestly I forgot, one, how bad it is, but two, I just don't know why they didn't go like when they started Gen Q, and they just literally didn't go, it was all a dream, Jenny was really alive. Like it couldn't get any worse, so just take the cliche and be done with it. Like, and then they could have had Mia back, because yes,
Brilliant.
Jenny is Jenny, but Mia Kirshner is another person that was absolutely robbed of an Emmy. Like,
Oh
Yes.
my god, yeah.
I wouldn't even be upset if they brought her back as just a completely different
Yes.
character who just happens to look like Jenny. Just because Mia Kirshner is fantastic.
yeah. I mean the
Maybe she could be a guest on the Alice show.
She walks out and Alice is like,
I mean, it could have been fantastic if Jenny was like a famous author now or something and came back on the show and just hadn't seen Alice in 15 years or whatever.
and they're all like, oh, there's this author that, oh my god, doesn't she look like?
they could have easily played with that, and also with Dana, they could have brought her back as like a long lost, twin or like a complete stranger who happens to look like her. There's so much hilarity that could have been happening.
I know.
I like, that's the idea they had when Erin Daniels was on the podcast, or on the panel pod, she said I could just come back as someone who looks just like Dana, and it would just drive Alice nuts. And I think that is a great plan. She's excellent.
Okay.
Her storyline.
Here's something that I somebody brought up in the chat that I want to bring up to you guys, because I've been seeing it in a bunch of different places and I want to get your thoughts on it. So since that interview with Rosie came out, there has been this feeling that somehow it is rehashing the Max storyline. Thoughts?
In what way?
I think because like Max also felt like an outsider among the glamorous Hollywood lesbians. I personally think it was for a different reason. I think that had a lot to do with Max being trans and like kind of coming to terms with that, more than it was like the, wow, all these women are like super skinny and gorgeous and I don't know what. So like, I think it's different, but I've seen that a lot of places. So I thought I would pose it to you guys.
I feel like Carrie is going to be like, or they're going to try and angle Carrie to be like the everyday lesbian, like all the rest of us who are like, oh, we don't look like that. So it could just be like,
that was a
she has,
criticism of the show. One of the criticisms that there wasn't enough of these regular looking folks on the show. So here she is right now.
Here's the one. You get one.
You get one.
You get one, and it's a character that everyone is fated to hate. Congratulations.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think that like I don't think it's rehashing, and like there's I like I said before, I'm glad that they got Rosie on the show, period, anyway, but I think that there's very few people who could play this character, because there's very few people who have like the backbone and the tough skin to like stand up to people like I talk about this all the time. Like, I do not like no coming on my platform and talking badly about people on the show or associated with the show or writers or whatever. And when I've seen people really, really attacking Rosie, she very like, coolly makes a joke or brushes it off. and I actually saw Vanessa Williams. Somebody wrote something on hers about, oh, Bette Tina something, like in a heart. And she said, oh, like, I hope I'll win you over. And it's like, they've obviously made very clever decisions with their casting, because they need these people who can withstand that sort of pressure, and even more that they can deflect it with like a joke. Like, that's like real strength. And I'm glad they've picked obviously the right people for these roles too.
Yeah, when Rosie was cast, I remember thinking, oh, well, she's been putting up with Donald Trump's bullshit for years, so she'll be fine. Like,
she's the original Trump hater.
Yeah, exactly.
She's a great actress, I think. So she'll go great with the Jennifer scenes. I can't wait to see those.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Go for it.
And there also has been someone, Vanessa was bringing up the 12-step program again, and it's hard to say the way that Rosie said that in the interview. I didn't listen to the podcast. I think I would need to listen to that episode to know for sure. It's hard to tell, if she's saying that Carrie is actually going to be in a 12-step program, or she's saying that they're going to be so shocked that I'm not like them, that they're going to see this person who doesn't look like them. She's, the complete opposite from them. The quote is it's very strange. It's weirdly put, at least how I read it. So,
I mean,
it's hard to say.
Yeah, I did listen to the podcast, and honestly, it doesn't make it that much clearer. I guess the way I took it, even in reading it, was I don't know that is necessarily going to be a thing, or if that was just an example that Rosie was giving of how the writers have kind of taken stuff from Rosie's life and brought it into Carrie. I don't know that she is necessarily saying Carrie is in a 12-step program, or if she was yeah, and when they find out I have this from my life, or this from my life, or this from my life, they put it into the show. Not that there's anything wrong with it if she is in a 12-step program. I think that's really interesting, and especially now that Kit's gone, a very valid thing. And it could even make her relationship with Bette more interesting, I think. But I don't know that everybody's taking it as gospel, and I'm not entirely sure that we should be.
Yeah.
Do we know anything about what's happening with Shane this season? Or
nothing.
As far as I'm aware, there's zero storyline information.
Well,
the dog.
A lot. Apparently, Jamie with Tess.
Yeah, but no romantic or any kind of storylines or love interests, and nothing. We don't know.
No, I don't even know if she still has a dog. I hope they have.
I kind of hope that her Finley. Wait, do we remember? Or my memory is horrible. But were Finley and Shane still living together at the end of the season?
No.
She moved back out. Damn it! I like them together.
That was pretty funny, actually.
Since the first season storyline was all around her ex, not ex, and the baby, and how she doesn't want kids and stuff, I don't know, it from the original series, there was, Shane had a brother that kind of showed up and then was dropped out of nowhere. It's I wonder if we'll hear anything about Shane's family, and is there some way that to bring in a relationship? Well, she's great with Angie. Shane would actually be a great parent. To bring something in again where she has to face some sort of parenting situation to sort of come to.
Well, she kind of has to parent Finley, so
yeah.
Folks in the chat are talking about Sherry Jaffe coming back.
Oh my God.
Very, very controversial. She need to have a fling with Helena, please God, no.
Oh God, no.
One weird kiss they had in the back of behind the planet was enough.
Someone wants Molly back for Shane.
I've heard a few people say that about Molly coming back.
I like Molly.
Yeah, I liked her too.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thought. Let's bring back Carmen.
Yeah.
I was wondering when you're going to talk about Carmen.
While we're at it, if Dylan is coming back. Bring back Dylan as well.
I would actually be really surprised by that.
Yeah.
They would have really got me with that one.
Yeah.
What Vanessa just asked, what do you guys think was the main reason for Bette and Tina's divorce? And she had asked earlier, do we think that Jenny's death was part of the reason that they got divorced?
I'm waiting for other people to answer because Brittany and I have already talked about this. So.
Every week on the podcast. So.
Why did they divorce? Well, I think it started. Season one started happening again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Back into, old habits. Maybe Bette's work became more important, and Tina had to stay and kind of raise Angie, and she was okay with that for a while, and then maybe she realized she was not like. I'm taking them for what they told us on the show. Like there wasn't space for her to grow, Tina to grow, and she needed to go find herself. And that's, I don't think it was she met someone else. I don't think Carrie was there and like swept her away. None of that happened. I just think that they kind of realized something, and that's kind of like growth, but. Growing apart at this moment. I'm sure they'll figure it out and we'll get back to each other. I can't wait to see that.
That's Bette and Tina's dynamic, Bette's
Yes.
controlling and she gets what she wants and doesn't necessarily listen and accommodate what other people want.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you. I have gotten a lot of notes from people listening to the podcast that have been like, Taylor, you're way too hard on Bette. And I'm like, am I though?
Yeah, you're hard enough, actually.
Listen, I am a Bette apologist, so...
You have to be if you're a Bette Porter fan. You have to be.
See, but I think there's a line between being a Bette Porter apologist and being one of those Bette Porter fans. It's like, Bette Porter has never done anything wrong.
Oh, no.
She's made is justified.
No, I know. This is what I always, the amount of people, the amount of women that I've dated that have called me that, I always say, I am what Bette Porter's personality is when she's had extensive therapy. So Bette could be so much better if she just went to therapy, but not Dan Foxworthy, like went to a woman who actually knows, like, not a straight white rich man. So yeah,
I'd love to see that. Bette Porter in therapy. Real therapy.
That's a show in itself.
Yeah.
Taylor has said what is honestly the theme of Bette and Tina is that Bette is not good at listening and Tina is not good at talking, and that has always been their downfall. If these behaviors were creeping up again, let's say Bette was getting really insecure and anxious and different things and kind of shutting Tina out, was Tina actually standing her ground and saying that it was interfering in their marriage? Because my guess is, we may never know, but I'm guessing that Tina had probably put a lot of thought into them getting a divorce and brought it to Bette, and Bette was so blindsided because, again, she's just so laser focused on what's in front of her that she just assumed, well, we got back together, we're together for life. Like, kind of like that saying, like, I told you I loved you once, like, nothing's changed. I'll let you know if something changes with that,
I definitely get that impression that it was Tina who said it, and Bette was complete, because the way, like in the first, or I can't remember which one, but in the beginning episode where she's talking to like the homeless youth and she's talking about her dad, and the way she's saying like the woman that I love beyond measure, and then we see she has like her wedding ring on the chain and stuff like that, like that's someone who they have been blindsided and they haven't even had that time to kind of move on or deal with it or whatever. Like it really seems as though she was blindsided, and I don't think she's really even attempted to move on, because I think because of them and their history of like this ping pong back and forth of we're together, we're not, we're da-da-da, that Bette's sitting there just thinking, well, we're gonna get back together. Like, so I don't even think she's actively trying to move on or trying to close that chapter of that. So who knows?
100%, there's always hope in at least TiBet, at least TiBet.
Yes.
As long as the two of them are alive.
Yeah. So you just have to watch that happen again.
Yeah.
Molly just said, Bet screams and moves on until the next scream, so 13 years. She's not wrong.
Oh gosh. So
Yes, Rosie did call Tina delicious, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah,
Laurel delicious.
Laurel delicious, yeah.
On TikTok, yeah.
Oh, I'm
when
not sure I want to see that.
So is Dani a mini Bette who's gonna make all the same mistakes that Bette made with Tina?
yeah.
Yeah.
But Sophie's more outspoken than
Yeah,
so
She's the one that cheated.
not putting up with it. Yeah. Well,
True.
yeah.
She is the one that cheated, yeah.
That's why I would just be really surprised if Dani and Gigi ended up together, because the last we heard, like, there was this whole love triangle going on. I would just be really shocked if Dani jumps into another relationship, but stranger things have happened on the L Word, so I'm not gonna like count it out as a possibility.
Knowing the L Word and watching it since the beginning, I get a sneaking suspicion they're going to do that whole, just casually, you will start watching season 2 and it'll be 6 months later.
yeah.
It's not going to pick up from the airport. You won't even know. You'll have to watch the story in bits and pieces to figure out what happened at the airport. Like, we won't have any answers. They're just going to be like they did with Shane and Carmen when they got together at the end of one of the seasons, and then we were waiting, and then all of a sudden it was like 6 months later, and they were past their like honeymoon phase. They were just a established couple, and we were like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thankfully, this is a totally different series with a different showrunner that's progressing differently than the original. So hopefully the stories will be told in a different way too.
Eileen is still signing up, remember?
But hopefully there's people saying, Eileen, you can't do this.
I don't know about that.
But
Molly said when they do a flashback, like in season 3.
oh yeah, to Dana and Alice breaking up.
No, I can't watch TiBet's breakup. I will cry. I know they're gonna make me watch it, but
I have to see it.
I mean, I'll be okay with it because it'll give us some answers.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm okay.
But I will also cry. This is also going to be the first season that I ever see live. So.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't feel old at all.
Well, that's fun though too, because then once you watch the episode, then you have to like go on social media and just talk about everything. And
Oh, I will be live tweeting the entire season. Don't you worry.
A lot of folks are saying that it's going to be the first time for them too.
oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
That would be an interesting thing to ask the folks that are in the chat. Did you start watching the original series, or did you start watching with Gen Q?
Put 1 in the chat if you started watching the original L Word, and put 2 if you started watching with or because of Gen Q.
Sarah says you guys are lucky. Yeah, we are.
One.
Oh my gosh, lots of ones, yeah.
Oh, we're writing our own in there as well.
No,
Molly-
we did not,
Molly was like born in 2004. Oh my god. Like, yeah, I was telling you guys, my best friend in New Jersey is one of the moderators too, and when she'd always been saying to me for ages, like, I want to watch the L Word, because obviously I talked about it all the time, and when Gen Q was coming out, she was like, oh, I really just want to watch the Gen Q one, and I was like, no, you have to go back.
People are working out their issues with Dani and Bette.
Yeah.
I still come across many lesbians today who I'm like, when I'm talking to them about the L Word, they're like, what? What is that? I'm like, what? Something that shapes my life so much.
Are you even a lesbian?
I mean, like, I don't know how up you guys are on the Twitter drama that happens, but like, Bette won a best lesbian poll the other day, and there were so many people on Twitter that were like, who the fuck is Bette Porter? And like, all of us were like, who are you? Like,
you're like, get out.
Get out of here.
I was like, gay lady card revoked.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot.
Sarah, what? Yeah.
I know.
So big question. When do you think that we're gonna get a trailer?
We got it.
Any time between now and next year.
I want the answer to be tomorrow. Like,
We want to
No, it's not, Ash.
every day I wake up and I'm like, maybe it'll be today, maybe.
Yeah. Well, do you know when they dropped the trailer? Like, how long before the start of season 1 did they drop the first trailer?
Listen, you know that meme with the woman doing all the math?
Yeah.
That's me trying to work out.
Like 4 months, wasn't it?
No, the Generation Q one was really quick. They started filming in July and they dropped the trailer. They dropped a teaser trailer in August and another one in September. So they had only been shooting for like a month and something. So
Yeah, but then didn't they go on to air that? It went on to air that year, right?
yeah, in December, yeah.
Lynn did just point out, Jennifer did technically give us a trailer.
She did. She gave us a picture of a trailer.
It was the wardrobe trailer.
I don't know if Showtime and HBO and stuff are different from, just regular TV, but I feel like this whole season with the television industry, everyone is so conservative that I feel like it'll be like the week before it airs. I mean, it's like no one wants to get anything out there because everything is just so up in the air from day to day that I feel like all the shows that have come back that we've seen, there hasn't been a whole lot of lead time.
I do think that like in the beginning I was saying I don't think there actually like really will be one until basically they filmed everything, because I think they're worried about being shut so that then they'll have put something out there. And I mean, Showtime, and I know that they got into a little bit of something with that Bryan Cranston show, Your Honor, where it had started airing before like everything happened, and they had to like rush film, like they went on a break for like 6 months that they didn't expect and all this stuff. But I know that they're filming Dexter right now too, and it's the only other Showtime show that like got ratings like the L Word, and they're only doing 1 season of 8 episodes for it. But I do think what happens with that will depend when we get the L Word, because if Dexter's only doing 8 episodes, they're going to finish before the L Word, and they're both Sunday night big shows. They're not going to air them at the same time. So I think Dexter will like probably start September and then do the 2 months, and then like we might get the L Word like end of October, November. But they did say something that it's going to be 2021, but that could be the 30th of December 2021. So we shall I mean, they're not wrapping until the end of May, June, so we're probably not going to get anything till then.
Well, I mean, I think also the fact that they're block shooting complicates things too, because like, I mean, the thing about like film and TV is that you always have just weird disjointed things that you have to stick together, but I feel like it's especially disjointed because they're not shooting by episode, they're shooting by location. So like, they have like some from episode 6 and like some from episode 2, and it's a mess. And I think you're right. I think they are, because they made the terrible, terrible decision of choosing now to start shooting in LA, that I think with everything in this country being on fire, they're worried about getting shut down in the middle of production and having to be like, so we got like 6.5 episodes? Have those? Like,
I know. Can you imagine if they still shot in Vancouver? We'd probably be watching the show right now.
I could be in it then.
I could have flown there and been in it. Actually, no, I couldn't because I can't leave.
I'm not bitter at all. I'm not a bitter Vancouver-based actor at all. I say not. I'm not in Vancouver right now, but
I was gonna say, like, Vancouver has heaps of good stuff filming right now.
Don't remind me.
All the CW shows shoot there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Laurel be back in season 3, or will she be busy with her?
Season 3?
I think she'll be. Well,
She should be in season 3.
I think she would do anything for Jennifer, so yeah. It's hard to say, will her London show have happened by then?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not.
So what happened? What happened with Tina? Because with Laurel, wasn't she insane when Gen Q came back that she was too busy with her art to come back and then she just popped up and we were all
in an interview, like,
we're quite surprised. We're like, what is she doing here?
they kept pushing her on it in one interview, and she's like, "That's all I can say." So I think that was the indicator that.
Can we talk about that one interview where Jennifer knew and just straight up lied about it?
Oh, you mean when the reporter called her Laurel Holloway?
Oh, yeah.
That one. So I guess technically she wasn't lying because Laurel Holloway was not on the show.
Oh, God.
I did see her on the Build series live, and she lied like to everyone there. Because someone
No.
on the Build series, yeah, she was someone. So it's like, there's so many people I would like to have back, and she named a couple of people. Not really saying, I guess she was holding that surprise in for.
Oh, Jennifer.
Oh, Jennifer.
That's all I can say.
Oh, gosh. I was gonna see anything else.
Don't jinx London.
Oh yeah, she is Molly. She did say that she would love for Pam to come back and start this series, and she was dead.
Jennifer.
Too soon, Jennifer.
Like literally too soon.
Yeah.
They did shoot themselves in the foot there, because if people become available, and if you're gonna have the show's most likely gonna go on for a little bit longer, and then they just kill people off left, right, and center. Dana, kids, Jenny, that's a lot of main cast members, so.
Yeah, like the thing is, when you kill a character, they're dead forever. Like, I mean, okay, maybe if we were like in a sci-fi show or a fantasy show or something, but like, as much internal logic as the L Word lacks, they're not about to start bringing people back from the dead, except maybe they could pull it off with Jenny. But like, I feel like sometimes showrunners don't think about like, oh, if they're dead, they're dead. Like, they're gone. And I feel like it's just sad that they were like, oh, Pam's busy right now, so we're just gonna kill Kit and make sure she can never come back again.
Unless Pam utterly said under no circumstances she would be coming back.
Yeah.
Can
Which
we?
I can't imagine her doing, but like.
No, I can't imagine her saying that. But just for a second, because I do not have a lot of people in my life that, well, I don't have a lot of lesbians in my life, and I don't have a lot of L word people in my life. But can we just talk about the Jenny thing for a second and season 6 and like what do you think happened there? Like, because what, like, it was just, why did they do this for the last season? Like, why?
Just like her total like shift in personality and then her ultimate death, or
Just
what?
why did they, like, why are they like this?
Are you talking like diegetically in the show, or like why did Eileen make that decision?
Both. Like, why did they say, oh, we're coming back for a final season of 8 episodes? Let's make arguably the worst season of television, and let's base it all around this murder mystery, you know, because our show's known for being a murder mystery show. And then also, just to make it even worse, when the show ends, let's release these little interrogation tapes that just, the show's dead, let's beat it to absolute death and make it even worse.
I mean, I think that's the tough thing, right? Is a lot of times if I watch an entire series, I feel like I judge it based on how well they can wrap things up. And the L Word just could not deliver in that respect. Like, I would have felt more comfortable if they would have just not given us season 6 and we would have ended at season 5. Like, I think that would have been a much better ending, like the cliffhanger of what happened with Girl and what, you know, like what ended up happening with Nikki and Shane. I would have rather left that than the mess that we saw in season 6.
They like jumped the shark, they swam back, and then beat the shark.
You didn't even say who killed her. You didn't even say who killed her. Or, well, now we know, but like.
Well, you know, there was that.
Oh, the spinoff.
Oh,
The farms? No.
The farm, yes.
I've told Brittany this, but you know what my favorite Who Killed Jenny conspiracy theory is? Not because it's plausible, but because it's hilarious. Somebody said that Angie killed Jenny, and that was why Bette Tina really moved to New York.
Oh my god.
Wait, how old was Angie again at the time?
Like 4.
Pushed her into the pool.
Oh my goodness.
Again, not at all plausible, but it's my favorite theory in the entire world.
And the stress of keeping that secret was what broke up their marriage.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to dig out the scripts to the farm and reread it.
Oh.
I can't remember anything that happened in it. But it was hilarious because it was Alice in jail for killing Jenny.
I
I could
just,
see it.
She's like the most unplausible like killer out of all of them is Alice.
Yeah.
and they had all, I can remember when all the stuff, like the publicity stuff was coming out, and it was like the farm was like a wing, and then they had like the jungle was another wing, and it was like, oh, it was just so, but it had a really good cast. It was like like Leisha Haley, Laurie Metcalf, and Famke Janssen as well.
They could have done Orange is the New Black before Orange is the New Black.
That
The hell out of the farm.
I mean, they literally like used the last season of the show to try and make this one. They should have at least done like a season, but obviously they didn't have any.
I feel like Eileen just got bored and was like, I've been doing the same show for 5 years. I want to do something different. I know technically it's still the L Word, but fuck it, why not? Like,
Yeah, it was. Oh gosh, just rewatch.
She just had a little dice with all different plot lines.
Yeah.
Murder mystery it is.
Or like throwing darts or
So-
something.
Pleasantly surprised by how normal the first season of Gen Q was. Hot mess of season 6.
I'm surprised that some executives sat there and watched season 6 and went, yes, do this.
Should bring this back.
We should bring this back.
I would kill to be in the meeting between Eileen and Marcia, and like do you think that there was like some sort of and what were you thinking with season 6? Like, where did this go? Like,
I think Marcia would have just been like, here are my ideas for where to bring it back.
Well, yeah, because Eileen did tell her, like, you can do whatever you want with season 6. She did say you can make it all a dream if you want to. Marcia, why did you not do that? Like,
Right, yeah, the option was there.
but I think they did have like a good, like, because they just put that one line in to kind of
yeah.
close the book, close the chapter, and then not draw too much attention to it. So I think they did what they had to and moved on, because if they would have focused on it anymore, it just would have been like, why are we wasting time with this? We only have 8 episodes. So like, I think they did the best that they could, because what else were they gonna do? You know, like, it was already made, so they
everybody who's saying you wish Tasha would come back, I think every time I record a podcast episode with Brittany, I say, where the fuck is Tasha, at least twice.
Love Tasha.
I think another thing I really appreciate about Gen Q is they have some excellent music on like within that series. I think they did a really, really good job with their music choice.
Yeah, definitely.
They've always had pretty good music though.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the like annoying things, that no matter where you like, I didn't even realize this until I started doing like my rewatch now, because I normally watch the DVDs, but even on Showtime you can't hear the proper music from the original one. Like, it's only the DVDs. That's crazy. Like, it's their show.
They don't have the right to rebroadcast it.
Yeah, it's just wild.
Someone forgot to sign a form.
It happens in a lot of shows, but it just...
I know, because some scenes are iconic with the music, and then you watch it with other music and you're like, what? Just doesn't have the same feeling.
But don't worry, all those Easy Girl songs are still in there.
As long as that's in there. Immortalized forever.
That Shane and Carmen one.
Oh, there is so much drama behind the scenes that I can tell you guys, but I won't.
Not here.
Private time later. Yeah. I don't know what was going on there. I wonder if they're gonna have any good like celebrity guest stars this season. Like, obviously because of the world, like they might not. But like they had Megan Rapinoe, Roxanne Gay and stuff, because having that device of having Alice having the talk show is just great for bringing on people like that. You don't even have to really cook up some like big plot. It's just they're guests on Alice's show. So I hope if we don't get very many this season, hopefully we get some good ones in season 3.
Poster that they released?
I was just gonna ask that, yeah.
Like, is the show now called The Chart? Or is that
I
something
feel like
else?
because Alice was having all that like network drama at the end of season 1, I feel like something happened, like either they're on a different network or like there's different producers. Like, I feel like there's some drama.
But remember, Leisha posted that like the first picture we got from set was Alice season 2, that blue one.
The department,
So like that's definitely I like when I saw the chart thing, I thought, well, this is obviously the show that Alice had before, and this is what gave her the Alice show or whatever. Like, because I thought like obviously it's had normally like when people have things like that, like a show has to have some sort of like driving point, or it's a game show or something, and then when the person themselves is, but it's like YouTubers, like you have to have something that brings people in. My thing is the L word, and maybe in 5 years, if people are then interested in me as opposed to just the show, then you know what I mean. Oh, Savage, thank you so much for the super chat.
Wow.
I forgot our super chats were even on. That's really, really generous of
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, do you want to talk about that a little bit, Ash?
Oh yeah. Savage is like always really kind with her comments to me as well. Anyone who leaves the super chats in the chat, everything that's in there and all of the AdSense is going to be matched by us, and we're going to donate it to Outright International, and it's a LGBTQ charity that helps people, well, LGBTQ people around the globe, especially in countries where it is illegal or, you know, there are severe consequences to being gay. So they help out with people who like are arrested and for being LGBTQ, and they need to be bailed out and things like that. So it's a really great charity, and anybody who donates, that's where it's going. So thank you very much, Savage. So that's just a little spiel.
Did they have a question?
No, so just a little. Oh, thank you, Jasquita, too. You guys are so sweet.
Cool people.
I love these little like pictures that come with them.
Yeah, the little sticker things, they're cool.
Dancing pair.
I know. Well, I don't know whether anyone has any other questions or if any of you guys have anything else that you wanna. Someone
We
said
didn't
Peggy
really address a
Peabody.
kind of major cliffhanger.
Oh yeah. Good point.
Who is Sophie running to in the airport?
Okay, whoever thinks Finley, put your hand up, and in the chat put 1 for Finley. Finley? I think Finley.
Oh,
I hope. I don't know if I think, but I hope.
I know. I feel like those are 2 different questions.
And anyone who thinks Sarah and Lisa, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you guys. Anyone who thinks Dani, put 2.
I think she was just running to the toilet.
If you think she was running to the toilet, put 2.5.
She's just running for the exit.
Yeah, I was gonna think the exit more.
I think Dani, but they didn't get married, obviously. They just went on a vacation. They probably figured it. I don't know. I think they're gonna drag it out. They're gonna drag
I
it
think it could just be she runs to
drag this out.
she runs to a gate and we don't know who it is, but that person's already left. And then she walks away. We never know who she ran to.
Dani just goes on vacation by herself.
Thank you, Ness. Thank you as well. Ness has a question for hers too. Will we know what happened to the Hit Club?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've been wondering that. Like, I've been wondering, like, what happened to Hit and the planet when Kit died?
Because surely Helena still, owned the other half.
Around the world.
I feel like she would have scolded at some point, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
probably.
I mean, the other thing that, like, you know, it doesn't sound great, but if Kit was, you know, really in like a bad addiction, like, you know, she could have sold it, or
Sure.
even something could have happened. So Emma, thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow.
Oh no! Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. I hate that.
Emma's question.
I wouldn't put it past them, but I really hope not.
No, I want to see Peggy in the flesh.
I know. I just want to see Holland Taylor back. I mean, she was a great character to
Yes.
begin with, and I know she'd be even better now.
Yes.
Onto her show.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Maybe she bankrolls when Alice loses her job and her show shuts down. Maybe she bankrolls like a new venture for Alice.
Because they're friends. That was great.
Well, was that picture that Leisha posted with Donald Faison, and they were like at the beach and stuff, that looking out into the water? I was
Yeah.
like, and it looked like they were filming because they had the camera behind them. So I was like, that looks like a, I don't know.
It's supposed to be a writer.
Are they gonna remember that Alice is bisexual finally, or?
Ew.
I think they've dropped that storyline.
Yeah.
Well, okay, no, I'm not gonna go on a season 4 rant right now. I could, but I won't.
There's just so many things like that like it's just completely abandoned. Like never ever brought up again.
Tried to get Leisha to kiss a dude and she was like, nope, not happy.
I did always think it was weird that they only had, when they were still like back in the original days, whenever it was Leisha Haley is the only gay cast member, and they had the only gay cast member was playing the only bisexual, but then they just were like, no. And then Alice even started calling herself a lesbian, so I don't know.
And got really biphobic.
Yeah, well, the whole show pretty much is, well, original. Jen, thank you so much as well. Oh, you guys are so great. Thank you so much.
Helena's kids would be called.
Helena's
That's
kids,
true.
yeah. And Shay, like
I forget she has kids.
another storyline that was dropped.
I was thinking, I know this is an unpopular opinion because apparently everybody except for me hated the storyline, but I would love to know, what Shane's brother is like as an adult human being. I think that would actually be a really good storyline for Shane if Shay came back, and I don't know if I would want him to be put together or a complete disaster, but I think either way it could be really interesting. Unpopular opinion.
Especially with Shane being all wealthy now.
Yeah.
That's when your crazy family comes out of the woodwork and tries to get something from you.
That's true.
And I'm sure they must see each other because, clearly Shane had, a big impact on his life, and they were, when we last saw them, they still had a good relationship. So as adults, they definitely, you would think they would see each other.
Yeah. Unless their dad just fucked Shay up so much that,
Yeah. Lynn, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
You guys are...
Lynn.
Thank you, Holly.
And
Molly,
Carly
if you
too,
don't
thank
stop calling
you.
yourself old, I swear to God.
I know. Carly, thank you too. Thank you. Oh, what happened to Jared's mom, Paige?
Paige.
Another one.
Oh, I was like, who the fuck is Jared's mom?
She got waxed and she's on.
Oh. That there was an episode, I can't remember which one, but in season 6 when I was doing my reviews, there's literally an episode when the whole Jenny and Shane thing is going on, and Jenny literally goes into Shane's closet and is taking out all the shirts. It's she takes out Carmen, she takes out Paige, and it's I just do not know how they were literally thinking, let me just physically show the audience every character that Shane has dated. It was just and Jenny was starting her controlling, I'm gonna, lock Shane in a box, and that was it. So that was another storyline that I don't know why they went with Jenny and Shane either. It was...
I did not like it one bit.
Me neither.
Did Way Girls get produced? No, because they lost the negatives, so they couldn't, right?
But they stole it, right? Stolen.
Which, I used to be a manager of a movie theater. That is not a thing.
I was like, listen, I know that the show is old, but were they still using film
But
in 2009?
Some theaters are. I used to work in the downtown Disney and the Universal Studios one, and I work for AMC. They're a really great company and really LGBTQ friendly. And when I did the retro review about when the Les Girls negative got stolen, I got like a trailer pack with the film in my video, and I was like, listen, like even if this was the 1950s, this wouldn't be a thing. Like this is not, people who make movies don't go to sleep at night and think, I hope no one steals the negative because there's only one. Like, so
Would
yeah.
have made more sense if they said the USB. Like,
Yeah.
of it or
But
something, you know?
like it just, I don't know why. It's literally like someone saying, we can't make the movie because someone took my script. Like that is the equivalent to what they're saying. So yeah,
You're not gonna put your millions of dollars investment on like one copy. Like,
they have like them, so many of them, because there's like oh my god, yes, it just does not exist. But they are that was the least of their problems in season 6, was that.
something on the L word not making sense. What? What? Weird.
I feel like that needs to be a t-shirt.
Oh gosh. I don't know.
When Tina found it, did she hand it back? I mean, honestly, if I were Tina, after the way those fucking dickheads treated me, I would have been like lighting the negative on fire now. Like,
Yeah, after that, I just wouldn't have given it to them after that, because they were douchebags. But I don't know. Does anybody else want to chat about anything else?
yeah, any more questions? What was Nikki Stevens doing in the bushes? She must have seen Jenny jump. That's a good point.
Mm. Yeah.
If something doesn't make sense, is that writing or editing issue? It is a writing issue.
Yeah.
There are some-
Again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Was every script supervisor on the L word just like napping the entire time?
They were doing something.
Yeah. I think by the time they got to season 6 there, they were just like,
They were over it.
yeah, like
I remember Oz and I watched season 6 together, and since we actually had a job to do, we had to write the recaps the next day. And I just remember watching every episode being like, do we have to watch another one? Like, I really don't want to watch the next episode right now.
Yeah, we were like,
dreading
it's
every one.
time to watch the next one, and we were both like, no.
Like, usually we would want to watch, 3 in a row if we could. It's like, oh gosh.
yeah.
It was, painful.
I know.
Conclusion on the L word seems to be script not good, but sex scenes, friendships, and TiBet brilliant. Yeah. Molly, we do not mention season 3 in this house. She said season 6 may be bad, but at least it's not season 3.
We do talk about how smoking hot Tina Kennard was in season 3, though.
Yeah, that is the one aspect of season 3 we acknowledge. Everything else can go away.
But
Good question from Emma. What do we think that's going to be doing for work this season, since she lost the mayoral race?
I think she's gonna be doing like the gallery work again between the artists that Vanessa that they casted, and also we haven't talked today about Griffin that they also with Rosie. He's involved in the art world too, so I think she's probably back doing that.
Do we think she's gonna
Yes,
be a director?
Thank you, B.
Or like, is she gonna own her own gallery finally?
whatever happened to hers and Kelly Wentworth's.
she must own it. She has so much money now. Like,
I know.
she's definitely in a position to have her own.
Where though? Like,
Magical Elwood, like,
You know how you know how rich people just get richer?
not getting that much money, Ashley.
Rich people just get richer. Her dad was rich. They just keep getting richer.
She does have a very nice house. So
She went to Yale with no student debt apparently.
That's true. Twice. She got her bachelor's and her master's from Yale with apparently no student debt.
Maybe Tina was already working like pretty high in the film industry, and now she paid that alimony. Probably. Yeah. In child support.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've always just known Bette Porter to be rich, so yeah, they had to keep that going somehow.
Yeah.
I want to know how Shane went from being homeless and basically cutting people's hair like once every fortnight, whatever, and to like coming in on a private jet and owning how many salons? What?
Yeah, where's that story? Because that's more interesting.
Jackie bankrolled her.
Yeah. This is Emily is my best friend in New Jersey, so thank you to my chica.
Oh, this is a good question. When asked, what are your thoughts if the script was written and TiBet were not together, what would Jennifer and Laurel's input be? Like the script for season 2, or
if it was like they would just not get back together, period.
Or never, or you mean never together?
I mean, I think Jennifer and Laurel have always been the captains of the TiBet ship.
100% agree.
Like from day one. Yep. So I think both of them will always be rooting for TiBet to be together at the end of the day. I think their two inputs are that and please don't make either of us cheat on each other again.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
Jen and Ness are saying Jenny left Shane her money, which I forgot about that.
Actually, I mean, they were together at the time.
Because she just sold that script, the one she stole from Alice.
Yeah. Oh. And didn't it sell for like $500,000?
Yeah, it was $500,000 because I just recently watched that episode for the thing.
Wait, that's not a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, but once you start getting money like that, you can
do shit with it too.
Invest, like that, and like I always talk about, like, you have people like Jeff Bezos and stuff, like those people are able to okay, maybe not everybody can create Amazon, but people can create companies like that because they have rich parents, like Kim Kardashian and her bloody closet thing, because they can say, okay, I'm not going to work for 2 years. My parents are going to invest $200,000 in me, and then I have 2 years to just focus and grow my business, and my parents have given me the money for it, and then they become rich, and then they have kids, and then the same thing happens again. So getting $500,000 for someone like Shane, like, that's a bit, and then she gets one salon, and it slowly all starts growing. So that totally could have been like the seed money that she needed,
Yes, see, the original show intended for Bette and Tina to break up. That was literally always Eileen's plan, and the only reason they got back together is because fans were so insistent on it that she was like, oh shit, this actually means a lot to a lot of people. And
they were supposed to break up in season 1.
Rose Crochet was on set one day with Laurel and Jennifer, and they both ordered that fucking Cobb salad, and those two things, they were like, okay, I guess we have to.
Oh, another thing that what was that?
No.
Oh, another thing we haven't talked about is that someone said here is about Max and Tom and the baby, like,
yes,
where
Spicy and I are sitting here going,
I was just looking at your face, like I could tell you have no recollection of this whatsoever.
I was like, Max, the baby? What?
I can honestly say I've not thought about Tom once during the interview.
oh man.
yeah.
Those of us that don't remember, quick recap.
Oh, so Max and Tom, who was like Jodie's interpreter, had a baby in the last season.
You blocked it from your mind.
So much we blocked.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
That was sad and terrible.
Hopefully,
I mean,
hopefully
presumably
Max
the kid is
is
there
is
somewhere.
living is
Yeah.
living some good life. And someone wrote I think it was in one of my comment section that someone wrote, I hope that somebody asks about Max, and then Bet says, oh yeah, remember when like we all treated him so terribly, and then he like went off and lived his best life and didn't speak to any of us because we were awful to him. I was like, yeah, that sounds accurate. So but yeah.
Max is living his best life away from rich LA lesbians. Yes, Molly. Also,
Kansas City.
Eating lobster somewhere.
Also, Blair, yes. Can James come back forever, please?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cry at the shoe bar when she kissed Tina. Heard it was not scripted.
Not scripted.
No.
Yeah, no, that was just Jennifer being Jennifer.
Very emotional.
Sorry, it was Jennifer being Bette.
For being bad.
I didn't know this till like this year, but did you guys know that the actor who plays James is married to Julia Stiles?
Yeah.
I didn't know that until like this year. I like saw it on something else, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What about Angie and Jordi's storyline?
They're cute. I don't know.
I think they're still together. A picture of Jennifer laying on the sidewalk shows, I believe, Jordan.
You said that with a straight face, Brittany.
It is what it is, Jen.
But they must be having something like more going on, because I think Molly sent me this. The actress who plays Jordi, she does like Instagram Q&A sometimes, and someone asked her about like, oh, are you excited or nervous or something about season 2? And she said, oh, I like when she was answering, she said, oh, I wrote out all this, big long answer about what's going on in season 2, and then I remembered I'm not allowed to tell anyone. So, and then she said something about, oh, I'm really excited and can't wait for you guys to see it. It's going to be a killer season. So I was like if she's writing out some big thing, it made it sound like they have quite a lot going on. So thank you, Suzanne, again.
Yeah, thank you.
This is a good question, because I've wondered this, if Jordi is supposed to be cis or not.
I think they said she was. Because
I mean, I know that like I think they've said like Tess is cis, right? And like Jamie obviously is not, but like I know that now granted, this was like I think the first revised draft, so like shit clearly changed, but I think in the like a draft of the first episode, Jordi was listed as non-binary, which I thought was interesting. I don't know the answer to that, but they haven't mentioned it, so who knows?
Yeah, they might go into it more next season.
Yeah. I also really like when that actress was talking about it, she said, like, I'm really excited for our storyline, which I thought was really cute.
Oh, yeah. That is cute.
I want to see if Mike and Jose make it with the husband. It's not an ex-husband, it's a current husband.
I don't know if Jose's even in season 2, because I feel like that actor's been doing other things.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about him being in. Thank you, Amanda.
That's another reason why I think it is 6 months later when they pick it up.
Yeah, because...
Vanessa, why would you put that into the air? Just why?
There's quite
No, no more killing off of actual characters. Real characters.
No.
No more. No more.
In real life, people just like move away or like
Yeah.
job.
They get a new
like break up and get new friends. They don't.
they deserve to be
Or
killed.
parents get sick, so they have to relocate to a different.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Which, to be fair, they've already done with Tina, and it didn't stick.
There's quite a lot of people that I think aren't coming back because Kiara she's cast on a new show. I haven't seen Jose on set or mentioned at all. There was someone else I thought of the other day, and I was like, oh, I guess they're I can't remember his name in the show, but Bette's campaign manager, he's in another show now too. He's in one of those Chicago. Yeah, he's in one of those Chicago shows.
He quit at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I figured we might have seen him because obviously like Bette didn't win, so they don't. None of them have jobs, but
Yeah, Dani doesn't have a job. Like.
Yeah, like I wonder what she'll do,
Well,
because
these are all the reasons why I do think they're going to do the whole time skip forward.
yeah, I mean time doesn't exist in the L word, so
No.
That's what Emma just said too.
Yeah.
oh
And
yeah,
it's not like
I
they
didn't
can
even
go back
see
and
that.
shoot at the airport with the pandemic happening.
True.
Oh yeah.
Although maybe they could because it was closed.
Yeah,
Mm.
that is
They
true.
did shoot that at some like tiny airport outside of LA.
Oh, like the Burbank airport or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was one of the small ones. And there was like people online that were mapping out like the airport and what direction, and I saw
because
this
there was, like,
extra.
gate numbers and stuff on the boards behind them, and which direction she went, and like which corridor she was running down, and which numbers were getting closer as she was running.
See, this is the part of the L word fandom that I love.
Like they know that they can put nothing, like even when all those when the wedding pictures, like it's literally in like this tiny slither of the screen that one of the crew had put up, which shout out to the L word crew, because like they have they're working in a pandemic with masks and filming all this stuff, but also they're like putting out content, and you know there's not a lot out there, so you know,
the breadcrumbs they drop, and we're like, ooh.
Yeah, and the crew never get any recognition, and writers, directors, the cast, obviously everyone is amazing, but the crews never get recognition.
I'm always reposting them on my Instagram because I love them. I love them all.
Yeah, they seem really, really nice too, and like
I secretly want to be best friends with all of them.
and like a lot of them seem to be like really excited about working on the show too, which is like awesome. So yeah, they seem really cool.
But what was in the sliver? You didn't finish the story.
Oh, the little wedding that there was, like what I was talking about before with the wedding things, and oh wait, now I've lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? The crew.
Were you talking about that picture that they like got in trouble for posting because it like had the wedding shit in the background, or?
Yeah, something like that.
How do you know they got in trouble?
No, I don't think they got. I don't think they got in trouble, but they.
Did they not? I thought someone like. I thought they like really cracked down after that on like, you have to make sure no one can see anything.
No, because they did that the other day with the karaoke and stuff. I think that they are conscious of what they're doing. Like they only do share things like that with like the karaoke thing where they know, okay, like they wouldn't have done that if like Rachel Shelley was standing right there, you know, like they're gonna be conscious of like what.
They're very careful in sharing only things that don't really spoil anything.
Yeah.
Like they might tell us what location they're at, and we're all like speculating, what are they doing at this location? But yeah, nothing to like storyline wise, except for the FBI stuff, which I was like,
Yeah.
One of the TiBet Instagram fan accounts had messaged someone from the crew and said, can you post a picture of Laurel on set? And she responded and said, girl, you're trying to make me lose my job.
That was funny that she replied too. Like, but they must get a lot of stuff like that. But well, I don't know. Somebody said there, asked about is Kiara definitely not coming back? I like definitely don't think so, because she's on another show now, the actress. So.
Also, you know what I think is going to be interesting is that like somebody earlier was talking about, like, I feel like Eileen's going to do this. I feel like Eileen's show running another show now.
Yeah, she's Law and Order.
Yeah, she's just signing off, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how, like, she's show running the new Law and Order show.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know how involved she'll be this. I mean, I'm sure she was, like, for the first whatever they filmed, but
she hasn't, that, like, the reason she couldn't be the showrunner is because, like, she has an exclusive thing with, is it Fox that do Law and Order? I can't remember who does it, but so, like, yeah, so she can. So there was, I mean, like, you know, who knows what goes on, but I don't think that there's any intention of getting out of that.
Other than Tina thing, have they always been secretive about characters and storylines?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yes, they have. So back in the day, when
I was gonna say, tell them.
Oh my gosh.
We used to get spoilers, and we would actually be getting them from.
I don't think we need to share where we're getting them from.
Okay, fine. We were getting them from somewhere, and Eileen did not like that at all. But see, the thing was, they couldn't come after us because we were getting sections of script, but we would I would have to I would have, like, say for example in an episode there would be like 90 pages or whatever. I might have like 30 pages. Mm-hmm. So, and from all different sections of it. So it's kind of like you kind of would have to piece it together. Like you'd read one page and another page would be 20 pages later, but you kind of had to sort of go, oh, this must have happened in between.
If you've watched enough TV, like we have.
Yeah.
Fill in the blanks.
You have to connect the dots yourself, basically. So instead of like posting the actual images of the script, which is what someone else might have done, when they can actually come after you and go, no, you can't do that.
I was going to say, how did you get around the names being on the script?
Yeah, so what I would do is I would summarize it in my own words. But I wouldn't say I'm doing it from the script. I just say, these are the spoilers we have, blah, 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 blah. And I would type it out myself, like my own thoughts. I wouldn't say this is what they say. I just say, this is what's happening in this scene, this is what's happening in this scene, this is what's happening in this scene.
What we think's going to happen, yeah.
Yeah, well, what we think, what we predict, or what we connect the dots to what's going to happen. And usually it was quite correct. And Eileen didn't like that. And she was like, where are you getting them? How are you getting them? How are you? And then one year, what year was it? Like 2004, 5?
We're getting phone calls from Showtime's lawyers and stuff.
Yeah,
what?
Yes, yeah.
They
They were sending us like documents and stuff, and about like, you have to take this down, you have to take this down, you have to take this down. You can't sell T-shirts, you can't do this, you can't do. Yeah, they were good times. But 2004, 5, I don't remember the year that we went. We flew up to Vancouver to visit the set, and we were invited by Eileen to have a coffee chat. We're not on the set, far away from the set, and she was questioning us about where we were getting our spoilers from.
Oh my God!
Very polite request to stop doing what
in a very passive aggressive, very nice way, and through Rose Lamb, the producer. Like Eileen didn't really say much; she was just whispering to Rose, and Rose. It was all very strange. Yeah.
But it's like you have to stop posting those because it ruins the secrecy of what's going to happen on the show. We're like, yeah, but that's what people want. They want to know what's going to happen. So.
And then later on, we heard that they, like, Eileen had, like, shut shit down on set and, like, started handing out special color-coded copies because she was like, it's getting out somewhere, who's leaking it? Like, you have to, like, give it back once you've read it and all kinds of stuff. And we're like, what? That's not even where we're getting it from, but okay.
Eileen, it's the L word. It's not fucking Westworld. Calm down.
This was back before, so...
Jesus.
Wow. Shit was
I
getting
ever
out.
need like a case cracked in my life, I'm going to you.
Yeah, really.
Much sooner than law enforcement.
It's a lot harder now, actually, than it was then. I found it a lot easier to research stuff because the internet wasn't so huge. Now it's like, you have to really find your sources.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like
the Jennifer Beals message board. What is that? Tap and Talk. The Jennifer Beals
The one where all the conspiracy theories
yeah,
are?
there's like thousands of pages of stuff, and the people are just like throwing out the most wild theories I've ever heard about, like the actresses, the show, the this, the that, like, and it's really hard to decipher, like, is there any truth to any of this, or people just put their ass?
that's why I think it's hard because there's and like people, one person will say, hey, I think this, and then other people start saying it as if it's 100% true, and like sorry, Gloria's joining the chat here. The amount of people that get the questions that I get sent, like the DMs, mostly all the same things, and it's just, I don't know, like sometimes some of the things I'm really like, how is someone believing this? But it there's just so much, and like I honestly will never put anything in like a video or on social media unless I know it is as close to some, not even just some sort of basis or like source, but like I need to have several sources or something. Gloria, no. Sorry, she's
Our friend Jess is the longtime L Word fan, and she, back in January, was posting that there was going to be a TiBet wedding on February 30th, and everyone lost it. People were freaking out, like, people were rolling with it, and I was
guys.
I'm like, guys, look at a calendar.
And then getting really pissed off when they realized that wasn't the thing. And
You got my hopes up.
But that's what I mean. I saw so many people share that, and I'm like, you haven't even, like, it hasn't even gone into your brain, like, and you're just share, and like that is absolutely like, I mean, that is how people like, oh God, yes, like all these.
Thank God we didn't have any of that.
And then it was like a picture of Jennifer Beals photoshopped from a movie she was in, in a white wedding dress by a cake. And everyone really thought we were seeing a TiBet wedding. I mean, they were dead set on it.
That's like wishful thinking at its best.
For real. Like something like that would ever leak on the internet.
Really?
With like a precise date. Yeah, it's, oh my gosh, it's wild.
Molly said, to be fair, I stared at that post for like a week before. Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh, Blair just said, I wonder how challenging it is for the actors to play scenes that seem inconsistent with their character's personality. Like when Tina needs to explain to Bette why she didn't show up for Kit's funeral.
Oh, God.
It's hard, but it's your job. So you kind of swallow the bile and do it, I guess. I do think it is interesting, though. Like, I was reading an interview with Laurel where she was talking about how, like, the biggest thing that she actually struggled with Gen Q Tina was the fact that she, like, willingly let Angie go. Like, she was like, I had never played Tina like that, ever. And I had to kind of, like, dig into my mind and kind of go back and, like, figure out, okay, what would make her do that? And I thought that was really interesting. But, you know, Laurel's a professional, so that's what she has to do.
Yeah, I think the best interview on the Pants Pod actually, like, again, I'm a bet apologist. Like, I like Bet too because I like Jennifer Beals, and I will say, and I do like Laura Holloman and Tina, but I think her interview on the Pants Pod was the best one they've done on there. And I love the bit where Laurel talked about when the L Word finished and she went and did another show. Gloria, sorry. And it was one of those, I can't even remember the name now. It was one of those douchey ones.
Castle.
You guys will remember Castle. And she was saying how she'd been in like this L Word, women supporting women and everything bubble, and then she went on the set of Castle and it was like awful and just sexist, and they made like these horrible comments and just and she was like, I'd been protected from this for so long, and then she was like, my heart just wasn't in acting and she stepped away from it for so long. And I mean, obviously I don't know this, but like it just really sounds as though she would never have gone back to acting unless it was for the L Word, because of the environment, not just because of the show and all that, but like because it does seem like they really had, Alicia and Kate always say on the podcast, like they had, lightning in a bottle, that it was something so different. And it must be really shocking, especially I suppose like Alicia and Kate, who are, I don't want to say in the club, but in the club, and then going to like, and I don't want to say normal, but to go on then to maybe, I don't really know much about that like Ray Donovan show and stuff, but where it is, just mainstream heteronormative society. So it is such a unique show for the storylines and for the characters and all that stuff, but then also from that side as well, like what TV show can you turn on and not only like all the credits are women, all the main characters are women, and they're not just someone's wife, someone's mother, someone's this, someone's that. And like that's what I love about the show too. Like obviously it's great that it's like lesbians and representation, but I have like my friend Emily that's in the chat, my other best friend from high school, her mom is a straight married woman and she is obsessed with the show and obsessed with Bette Porter. And she's telling me the other day her dad is sometimes like, are you watching that lesbian porn again? And it is like just so unique that way too. So all these people that, yes, there, like we said, there are its little problems, but it also is just like so unique, and like there's not really anything else out there like it.
And there still isn't, so that's why we're still gonna watch it.
Yeah. Which is sad. Like, I mean, like Eileen and Jennifer and Alicia and Kate have talked a lot about that like they really thought the L Word was going to be the beginning of something, and then it wasn't. And yeah, it is kind of sad that, like, I mean, I'm glad and grateful that we have the L Word back, but like it kind of sucks that they had to do that because nothing.
Like we should have had like 20 more shows about those kids by now.
Yeah.
I think another reason why Laurel's Pants Pod episode was so great too is because Ash, when you were talking about how like people will just kind of take these ideas and message boards and stuff and kind of run with them. There was all the speculation. Jeez.
Meanwhile, I had my cat tearing my door open and I'm like, I'm gonna lose that door.
I don't leave my dog downstairs.
Okay, someone said earlier in the chat that
She's had enough.
The most unbelievable thing about the L Word is that none of them have pets.
Yes.
So they were like, Shane has to keep the dog because
the dog.
it's really unbelievable that a whole group of lesbians that has no pets.
True. And the one pet they did have, they killed in the first season, so.
Oh, Mr. Fiddles.
I know.
People were saying that they want more hijinks, like when Alice and Jane stole the sign.
Oh,
and,
yes.
what is it? And when Alice chased Dane after she left her first chef, Laura.
Oh my
God.
God.
Like those are all thanks to Angela Robinson and her geniusness, and I wish she would come back.
Oh, yeah,
All
she's
the
great.
episodes weren't like written and directed by her.
I bet we're gonna get a caper, just because Jennifer talked about it on the pants spot. I think everything she talked about, we're gonna get, but they talked about it in such a way that it was like, oh, I hope we get this, and maybe we should do this. Yeah, I think we're gonna get all of that. We're just gonna, I think we're gonna get a caper. I feel like we are.
That's why the cops are there.
That's the caper episode with the FBI.
Oh, gosh. What about Sounder? Oh, yeah, Sounder was on there.
Somebody in the chat earlier was like, Sounder can come back as a Pomeranian or something else than what he was. And I was like, is he just with Jenny's spirit forever now?
Do you think Dylan will be back?
Well, one can only hope. But I follow Alexander Henderson, and she doesn't look like she's been on the set or anything.
She's a Silver Fox now. I saw when they won the award. But
What about Maya's dog at the park?
We're reaching here now.
That's really Kate's done.
Yeah. Didn't they release an interview before they started shooting about how they were going to be shooting with? Well, I guess it wouldn't extend to pets, but I was going to say they were thinking about shooting with real life partners because of COVID.
oh, yeah.
No.
So I was like, maybe they'll bring in their real life pets.
Oh.
Pets I would be fine with. Real life partners, not so much.
I know, when I read that, I was like, how is that going to work? That would be weird.
Especially because a lot of them are married to men. Yeah, they I don't think that Maya character is coming back from the interviews I saw. Like I think a lot of people like ended up liking her, and they were really surprised because they were kind of like, oh, we were just kind of using her as like a, to illustrate Bette's moving forward and going on a date, and like,
Which is a weird way to use Tamara Taylor, but like, okay.
Yeah. But oh my God, like if anybody like ever doubts that all of them are aging in reverse, like Jennifer, Alicia, and Kate, and like Laurel, and I don't know honestly what's in the water that they drink, because the end scene where they're like showing Shane with the dog and Alice on the set, and then Jennifer Beals in that dress, I was like, what is happening with these people? Like, no time has passed since the original show. They just all look so amazing still. Oh yeah, that's true too, Nikki.
Suzanne, if they can convince Jodie Foster to be on the L Word, I would be totally here for that. But
that would be Jodie Foster really, really coming full circle and then accepting her. But I mean, I see people say this all the time too about Holland Taylor's convincing Sarah Paulson to come on.
I really wanted Sarah to be Carrie. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh God.
Like, I knew it wasn't gonna happen, but I was like, I mean, Holland, please.
I know. I'm like, don't you want to just do it for the, to say you're on the L Word?
Yeah. Do it for the gays.
But they're all probably out of the price range.
Yeah.
Allison Hannigan, that's a random one, Molly.
That would have been interesting.
Oh, but I suppose, yeah, Willow and Tara.
What that would have, no.
How old is Allison Hannigan?
12?
Just like her late 40s.
Yeah.
I just watched her Lifetime movie, okay?
Oh, so she is.
Gloria. Gloria.
Hello. Right in the
She's pulling that.
It's Will Rosenberg, isn't it?
She's gonna. She doesn't like
Oh, I wish
attention
Heather
being
Rachel
away from
would
her.
be on the show. That would be amazing.
Oh my god, yeah, that would be awesome.
47.
Your cat is ridiculous. Aww.
So you were only off by a couple of years, Chris. Apparently, Allison Hannigan is 47.
Oh, all right then. That's okay.
12:47.
Jane.
Never mind. She's that. She's that.
It's numbers, right?
Or like 16.
Yeah.
Sit in your seat. Sit in your seat.
She does just want to say hi.
I'm like tapping her seat and she keeps
Show too.
hitting me.
Put her right in there.
Didn't Evan Rachel Wood date Kate Minnick? Did she?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Very briefly. I think that wasn't that when we were first speculating that Kate was gay?
Okay. We were.
Oh, no. Not for us. Obviously, we've known forever.
I was gonna say, like.
I meant in terms of public life. People, not us, were speculating.
I like forgot until you said that Kate wasn't out at the beginning of the show. Because I mean, for me, looking back on it, watching it in 2020, I was like, Kate, come on, you were
We were watching
literally-
Young Americans and going like, Kate, come on. She's
you were the most obviously gay person ever. Just come out. It's okay. Wait, what? Oh. I didn't realize they were still talking about Allison Hannigan. And I was like, what do you mean Carrie was at band camp, Molly?
I don't know, does anybody have any last parting words? Any last things to chat about?
Did Jennifer really out Kate? Did she?
Yeah.
Maybe we remember something.
She did?
Yeah.
In the magazine, and that was it. Yeah, the Advocate.
We probably had that
Say
next.
Jennifer.
Because the reporters, they would always ask the same questions about, about it, is it weird to kiss another woman and blah, 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 and questions about who's gay is, I don't know. But yeah, she answered something about oh, the only, queer women on set are Leisha, Laurel, and Kate or something like that. And it's like, wait a minute, what?
They were they said they were asking or Jennifer said if she didn't understand something she would go to the gay women on set,
right.
and it was
That's
like
right.
Leisha,
Yeah.
Kate, oh shit.
Yes.
Oh, Jennifer. That's funny. Why did Jordan Holt delete her Instagram account? I don't know.
I don't know.
I have a sad suspicion it was probably people were assholes, but
Sadly,
Also,
that's
she's
probably
like-
true.
17. She is literally a kid. So, is Laurel gay? Laurel?
Yeah.
No. Sorry, we don't speculate on people's things here. So, no. Sorry, I just do not like people speculating on things that are just no.
Just hope when Bette and Tina get back together, they stay together. I agree.
It's the L word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will never be over, or if they get back together, hopefully they stay together. But
Okay. Thank you.
well, does anyone have any last things to say?
This was fun.
This was
Yeah.
No,
People keep asking in the chat, are we doing it again?
yeah, you guys will. I mean, anytime that you want to come on, totally welcome.
We should do
And
it after every episode is.
yeah, I
Oh
mean,
my god.
definitely when like a trailer comes out or something happens, like that's a given. But like maybe, you know, I don't know what everyone's schedules are like and things, but like every like month, 2 month, whatever, just let me know. I mean, we can chat about it, and then but we should definitely do it again. It's been really fun, and just thank you guys for coming on the channel. Thank you everyone who came in the chat. Thank you to all the people who donated, questions, everything. Like, you guys are all awesome, and just thank you so much for having a great time and being so great. So thank you. And
Well, thank you for putting it together, Ash.
no, do you all wanna just say your social medias and stuff so that people know where to find you? I'll link them in down below too, of course, in the description box. Britt, you want to start?
Oh, sure, yeah. So you can find me on, probably the best way is going to be Twitter, and my handle is it's all you. I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, thanks. Jules?
Yeah, Instagram at Bette Tina _ House of Stir Fry. And I'll put it in the chat too. Good idea.
I love that name.
So much meaning to it. Thank you. Thank you. I had a
Slicey?
great time. Thank you, Ash.
Thanks, Jules. Thanks. Slicey?
Do you mind, Doris?
Oh yeah, ours is just the L Word Online on Instagram. We have a Facebook group too, which I think is called the L Word Online. And then the website, the L Word Online. I think both of Slicey and I's actual personal Instagrams are linked on the L Word, in the L Word bio.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll put them all in the description box too, so that, like, because I know everybody has like multiples and stuff too, so that they can get everything. Taylor?
I guess I'll give, my Twitter is private, so you will have to send me a follow request, but if I know you're like from here, I will definitely accept you. My personal is, the @ is Tina is the heart. I will also put it in the description. And the Brittany is the podcast Twitter, just all things TiBet. I'm having a brain fart.
Oh, it's all TiBet Pod.
That's what it is.
All TiBet. It's like one character too many.
Yeah, so I will drop that in as well.
I already put it in there.
Oh, okay. Well, fine.
Okay. Again, thank you so much, guys.
How the process worked, by the way, Taylor, when you have to request somebody on Twitter.
I just didn't want to like give my handle and have them be like, wait, it's private. Like, why did she do that? So I was trying to be nice for me.
But thank you so much, guys. I had a really great time, and just thank you for coming on the channel. And everyone in the chat, don't forget to give a little thumbs up and to subscribe to the channel, because it really helps out with my eternal battle with the YouTube algorithm, who, you know, hates me because I say the word lesbian twice in a stream. So I know the second I close this is going to be unlimited anyway. So make sure to like and subscribe and come back for when these guys will definitely be back on the channel soon. But thank you again so much, guys. Have a good rest of the night, day, wherever everyone is. And I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.